All right, so got our paint poured in here. I just want to kind of touch on this real fast to help anybody out. Every paint store is going to be different. You've got to keep that in mind. You're literally just going to have to go to your paint store and ask them what options they have, because there's all kinds of different things. Okay, for instance, you have single stage that requires reducers, activators. You have single stage that requires nothing, no reducer, no activator, no hardener. And then you got single stage that, you know, you can do just a single stage and reducer. So that's what we're using today. So our single stage can be shot either with just single stage, which is your paint product right here, and reducer. Reducer makes it flow out better, thins it, it reduces the paint. And you can also shoot this with the hardener if you wanted to make it more durable. Now this car is getting pushed into a river. Every penny I spend on this car is less penny in my pocket. I paint for flat rate on this, and I'm going to go over what I make on this stuff, you know, at the end and how many hours it roughly took. So what we're doing is we're shooting just single stage reduced. Now it's barely reduced. It's going to be, this product is going to be the same. It's going to be a 4-to-1 ratio. Let me show you the paper real fast. So the product is going to be a VW paint. There's the code for it, and this is going to be a Omni. Looks like an Omni MAE #1. Here is the tech sheet. So on our tech sheet, you always ask your paint supplier to print out your tech sheet. That way, if you don't understand anything, especially if you're new, it will give you everything you need to know. You know, it gives you air dry time, force dry, which would be if you're baking it in a booth. It will tell you how long till you can polish it. You know, allow 16 hours to dry, to polish and put it into service. So wait 8 hours to polish and put into service if you force dry it. So it tells you all kinds of valuable information, you know, between coats 5 to 10 minutes. Normally I have found out with this single stage is that I can never get over the whole car and still have this flash time. So normally by the time I get around the whole car, it's about time to start all over again and do the next coat. It tells you gun setup, what they recommend your cap to be at, your PSI. A lot of y'all have been asking about PSI on previous videos, so it tells you your recommended PSI right there. You know, got some footnotes in there, but it goes over other products that are, you know, compatible with this products that you could use. And we're just shooting straight over everything. It tells you what they want it sanded with, you know, to get the best results, which we didn't sand it anything. We just used a scuff pad. It tells you how to clean the surface. I mean, everything. So always get your tech sheet, data sheet, if you don't know what you're doing with the product. And since I have actually never sprayed, I think this line, I've sprayed a bunch of other stuff, but I don't think I've sprayed the Omni, or if it's so, it's been a long time. I went ahead and had them printed this just so I can remember that I'm using a 4-to-1 mix. My ratios are right here. It's going to be 4 parts paint, 1 part reducer. My paint supplier said that this reducer that I already use will work. So this is the reason why you have to go talk to your store and your paint supplier, because everything's going to be different. So if you read the instructions, of course, it's going to tell you somewhere in here, probably. I'm not seeing it right now, but I'm sure it says somewhere in here reducers. You know, it says MR reducers. You know, I know the paint is a MAE, so whatever an MR reducer is, this is definitely not an MR reducer. It's just my supplier said this will work. That tells you right there, you know, if you're doing clear coat over this single stage, you know, you have to use, it has to be activated in the C data sheet, you know, OB16. This is important, you know, you can tint it, all that stuff. Fisheye eliminator, you can add up to 0.5 ounces if you are having issues, which I just free hand that and dump it. Pot life is indefinite, so it never goes bad, so this stuff will last forever. And yeah, I mean, this is just something 3 coats or until proper color is achieved. So this is something you definitely need if you don't know what you're doing. It's going to tell you everything. So we've come in here, we mixed our 4-to-1 ratio. So we found our column 4-to-1-to-1. We're just looking for the 4-to-1, not the extra one, so we're ignoring the last column. So we went with a number 3 about right here with paint, and then we went up to our number 3 with reducer. So you'll go and follow your column, find what ratio you need. That's the ratio you're looking for right there. So it's always going to be 3 numbers. So even if you have a 2-number ratio, you'll have to use a 3-number table. So you can see on your little cups, we've went over this before. If you're OG to the channel, it's the same way. So if you were doing a little cup, you know, your 4-to-1 columns will be right here. It's just we're going ahead and mixing this big picture because we're doing a whole entire vehicle. So what does it cost to do something like this? So I think I actually got a little bit more than I needed. I wasn't quite sure on this, how good it's going to cover. We'll see. how fast it eats this paint up, but I got a gut feeling that I'm gonna have some left over, which is fine. At least I don't have to stop and have Ed haul tail to the paint store in the middle of a paint job, because it's a single stage you don't want to walk away from, because you only have 5 to 10 minutes flash times before you have to get on it again. So you can't be driving 30 minutes across town. We've ran into situations before where I slow my painting way down and Ed's hauling tail across town to get more paint. So I try to avoid that on single stage, and always, you know, just buy extra and have it, use it on some other job. But what I paid for this from my supplier is going to be $187 in my price. List price to the public would be $250. I paid $187. All of this is other stuff. I can go ahead and show you the scuff pads that I was talking about. That whole entire box, my supplier charged me $33. And I'm sure you can find that cheaper on eBay or Amazon, but I buy local from NCS whenever, you know, on most everything with this. Let's see here. Mid-temp reducer, that was for that other paint. So for that Ultima, to just do that little front end on the Ultima, we paid $100 plus, you know, the $8. About $108 just to do that Ultima this morning. And all we did on this Ultima was a fender, a front bumper, blended into the door. We went ahead and did the hood, and we blended the other fender. So that was base coat, clear coat. So that base coat was pretty expensive on that, and that was actually cheaper because the main base coat on that Ultima that had a better mix was looking to be about $250 for a pint. So this was a pint at, you can see right there, a pint, and this was at $100 a pint pretty much. And this was a cheaper pick that I picked to save us money, since this is, you know, flip cars right there. But this is movie work, so I try to get as cheap as I can, 0.75 of a gallon. And, you know, like I said, $187. So everywhere is going to be different. What we have done for movie work is we have actually used cheaper paint that, like, we painted the trailer with. So we used this stuff over here. This is what we used on the trailer, the ALK 200. If you go back and watch the trailer video, this was about $15 a quart. So you're only paying, you know, 15 quart for this, whereas this stuff, you're paying almost double that. So, and the reason why we had a hard time with this is the metallics in this paint. So the metallics getting this match and getting this color and it being red is the reason why we had to pay more for this job. So this is I think this is the most expensive movie job I've ever did as far as material wise. So I'm about $187 plus, if you want to count a splasher reducer, the little bit of tape and plastic I used, it's safe to say I'm probably the 200 to 250 in materials. We'll go 250 just for people that want to say, well, don't forget the scuff pads and Dawn dish soap and all that. We'll go ahead and count 250 in materials to get this job done. So we are not going to wax and grease remove this car to simply save money on this job. I'm not going to use product up. I feel confident with my scuffing, and if I do have an issue, I'll splash some fisheye eliminator in it, which this would be the fisheye eliminator I would splash in it if we do have an issue. But I want orange peel on this job, so I want orange peel. For the movie studio, they actually cannot have this gloss, so a lot of times they put either flooring wax over the whole entire car with their hands, or they spray the whole car with hairspray to kill this shine, because they don't want the reflection. You know, you can see slightly a reflection of the can right there. They don't want the reflection of the people filming in the paint, so they cannot have glossy you know, paint normally, so they kill and destroy the shine on a lot of these jobs. So we're not looking for anything shiny. We don't care about trash in it because they're going to destroy the shine anyway. We don't care about anything about that. We just need the color, literally. So these jobs, I love them because, you know, all you got to do is color them. You don't have to worry about anything. So we're not going to wax and grease remove it. That's going to save me money, but this is the product I would use if you're painting a race car or painting your own product. You want to go ahead and wax or grease remove it, you'll just take this, you'll put it on a paper towel. Here's the paper towels I use. You don't want to use shop towels because they will leave lint. These are blue towels, but they are prep towels. So this is the product I'd use if you want to look it up online. This is lint free. It won't leave lint and trash on the vehicle. You don't want to go use your paper towels out of your house or nothing like that, really. Or if you're in a pinch and you have to, then you're going to need to come back over it with a tack cloth. So you'll want to come over it with something like this. This is the tack cloths I have right now. I got these from actually an auction, so I don't even know how old they are. But basically, you know, you just want to use some kind of tack cloth to wipe it down. And the tack cloth is very sticky, and you just open it up and spread it out, wipe it just like the box shows, and this is going to pick all the lint and dust up off of it. But like I said, we're cool with lint, we're cool with dust, we're cool with trash, we're cool with dragonflies crawling through it, because this is a movie one and they don't want the shine in there. The camera, they will add all of that too, but for actual filming, you don't see a reflection in any cars on movies normally. You know, you don't see the, like right now you can see me holding the camera, you don't see that in movies because they destroy the shine, they destroy the reflection before they film. So that's the reason why we're not worried about the quality on this one that we normally would. But I just wanted to show you the wax and grease remover and tell you what I use in case you're using this video to paint your own product. That way you know. So if you are, you know, doing your product, then of course you'll take your wax and grease remover, you'll spray it all over it, and you'll wipe it. You know, don't do circles and don't smear it. Try to actually wipe it and pull it towards you and keep flipping and getting a new paper towel and everything. Tack cloth the same way. I'm using one-handed, so it's kind of hard. This is an old one, but you want it opened up and kind of fluffy. So you don't want it to come out just as a square, you know, and balled up and tight. You want it kind of fluffy and open. And then you literally just want to take it and just, like I said, kind of don't push it like this, because then you're stopping trash where you stop and you're coming backwards and you're leaving trash right there. So you kind of want to almost, you know, like keep it scooped up like that. I mean, sadly, that's not how I do 95% of my cars. But if you're doing, you know, a high-end job, or you're really trying to get good results and you have been working really hard to get this car, then just go ahead and take the time to really try to clean it up. And you can already feel, if you were here in person, like you can feel that that's clean, whereas this has dirt and trash all over it kind of. Normally, whenever I'm doing it, sadly, I literally just kind of do like this and hope that, you know, it's sticking to it, because I don't do a ton of high-end work. You know, if it was one of the Fox bodies or when we do Randy's or something like that, then, you know, I'll be taking way more time to, you know, to clean it and prep it. But I figured I would just let y'all know all of that. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy how much trash is in this. It's so hard not to sit here and clean this whole thing as a painter, and, you know, just knowing that you should be. But literally with movie work, if you want to make a lot of money, you can't be sitting here talking on the phone like I'm doing, because you're technically taking longer, and you can't be sitting here prepping it flawlessly. So let's get to painting. right, so here is how it turned out. So it ain't got the best of shine, that's for sure. Which, I mean, this is the worst single stage you can get, but in this situation, we're not looking for shine. Look at how tinted the inside of the car is with red. And y'all see the camera don't pick it up, but there's like a red dust over everything on the inside of the car because we had that door cracked while we were painting. So stuff was just kind of rolling up in there across the seat and everything. So they're gonna definitely have to clean it up if they need the money shot on the inside of the car. But looks good overall. I mean, we're gonna pull it out in the sun and I'll show you what it looks like in the sun. I had a run right here that started, as you can see, but it pretty much, you don't see it. I mean, you could see it, but like back here on camera, you don't really see it. So for Hollywood, it'd be perfect. So we get this thing untaped and get it outside, and then we are going to go over the rest of this project on the money side and everything like that. All right, so we got this thing out. Ed's gonna grab the Colorado and we're gonna hook to it real fast, and then I'll show you all this thing in the sun. But I mean, all this paint, it doesn't have a hardener in it, so it just wiped right off the door panel, wiped right off the glass, you know, everything that we got it all over, basically wiped off of. But I mean, this is how movie work is, man. I mean, you can see how trash this interior is. They're not filming on the inside, and when you do movie work like this, they will tell you, we still gotta unpeel the moldings. They'll tell you if where the shots are at. So he told me, you know, like the shot was going to be possibly driver's door, but 100% the shot is the trunk on this car. That's what this car is intended for, is the trunk. That's the reason why we're doing this one. So you know, they'll let you know, and then you'll know what to actually take your time on and make sure you have, you know, decent coverage on and make sure it looks right, because you'll know that the rest of the vehicle doesn't matter. I need to finish filming it out in the sun before we take off with it. I just want to get it like right there where the Colorado's at. Ed's gonna pull this thing out of the way and I'm gonna show y'all. This is feels like race car life right here. I mean, I guess this thing is super fast. A lot of people actually don't know about these cars that are really, really fast. Oh, Ed's got e-brake on her. All right, go on with it, Ed. Go on with your bad self. Look at the Colorado doing work. All right, so let's take a look at this thing in the sun. Man, it don't look bad. So, I mean, look at the metallics hitting. I mean, you can see the orange peel, okay? So y'all have learned on this channel what we're looking for, an orange peel, which that's fine. Like I said, it's a movie car, but look at the metallics. It actually looks good. Dude, I bet if you wet sanded and polished this thing later on, I bet you could get this thing to look freaking pretty good. Look at that. That's crazy. It looks so good on camera, and it's like, I'm not trying to hide nothing. Look, that's not the camera being distorted. You can see how clear the camera is. That's the orange peel. So it's got terrible orange peel, but I mean, this is a movie job. See rust that we buried. And look at the seal. Surprisingly, the paint was so transparent that the seal still looks black, even though we did not tape it. When they open to get in and out, all the door jams are done. That's all you're looking for, is that little shot right there. Is you're looking like this. Camera opens, driver gets out, closes the door. That's all you need. That's the amazing thing about doing this kind of work, is that that's all you need. Is, you know, sometimes it's a minute or so, but normally they're not fixed on one item. So Chris's guys are going to get the rest of the bumper painted and getting them all done. I mean, there's so many flaws in this. Like, look at the trash. See that? That's like a glob or something. Yeah, see, we don't want to pull that off because it's white. But that's the type of stuff that's I love about these jobs, is that you don't have to stress that. You know, a customer job, you'd be stressing the crap out of that. Now you got to completely repaint the whole hood, or you got to do some major fixing. So again, you can see how bad the orange peel is. There's a perfect shot. But this is what the movie studio, this is what they want. Whenever you're sitting in your living room eating popcorn, watching videos, you know, this is all you're really going to be seeing. You're not going to be seeing, you know, details. And then the money shot's going to be that trunk. They're going to throw a girl in there. She's going to be yelling. They're probably going to slam it, and then they're going to push it in the water. So you see on camera, you can kind of get a feeling for how easy these cheap jobs work. So let me and Ed get this down there to Chris, and we're gonna close this video out. So my movie guy is actually just a couple of businesses down from me, which works out perfect because me and him doing business together, he's right around the corner if I need anything. So we're gonna get this over to his shop. All right, so on that movie job, like I said, the material I showed y'all was $185, I think it was, but I'm gonna go ahead and just call it at $250 to account for miscellaneous odds and ends. So if you take the whole job, what it was charged for it, I'll do the math on it. So we charged $1,100 for that job. So material was, let's say, $250. Minus that down, you're walking away with $850. So it took me about 30 minutes to scuff it and sand it. But a lot of people probably is not going to believe that. And if you want to count in the miscellaneous stuff, I'll go ahead and give you an hour on prep. So to tape it and paint it, we started at 12 o'clock. Lunch is from 11 to 12. So as soon as I got done with lunch, I started straight on taping it and painting it. I got done with that at 4 o'clock. So that's 4 hours. So if you want to put that 4 hours with 1 hour of prep, that puts you at 5 hours. Divide $850 by 5, and you're gonna walk away with $170 an hour is what you made on that job. So if y'all know how to make more than $170 an hour, let me know in the comments because I would love to know. But I feel like that's pretty good. Yeah, Eddie wants to know also. But that's I feel like it's pretty good hourly pay for such low quality. So in anything you recommend that's 170 or up, please make sure it takes equal effort, which is pretty much none, to make that money. So that's gonna all go to the race car though. That's gonna go straight to TKM to pay for that freaking bill that we're gonna have over there, and keep the race car moving forward. So that's the reason why we do them kind of jobs for so cheap, is that's all race car money. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks, y'all.